Hello, welcome to Tabletop CP for another Chain of Command battle report. Tonight we're going to be doing a learning game 2.0 for us. The reason we're doing this is because I got a better mic, I got a better camera, but more importantly we got a lot more experience after playing through two campaigns, two of the pint-sized campaigns, 29 Let's Go and Operation Martlet. So right now we're kind of in a break between campaigns. So we thought we'd do a couple one-off games, including this learning game, just to mix things up a little bit. You can see here my Russian village. This will be the first time we're breaking this out. First time we'll be on the Eastern Front, so we're excited about that. So I've got that church done, got this barn, all these fences I built, and I also got some barnyard animals just to throw in there as scatter terrain. Kind of cool, like the way they look. But anyway, so this will be the board. We haven't decided who's going to be who yet. We'll roll for that, but I'll go over the forces, the basic forces now, then we'll go over the mission, then we'll do the patrol phase and get started. This is the German platoon for this game. This is your standard German rifle platoon. So what we have is we have a senior leader. We got 3 identical squads. Each is a junior leader, a 6-man rifle team, a 2-man LMG team, plus 1 rifleman. So this is a team, this is a team. So as far as the leaders go, senior leader, he has 3 command initiatives. The junior leader has 2. Command initiatives are the orders that the leader can issue to a squad. So he can issue 3 orders to a squad. Junior leader can order 2. Command range for the senior leader is 9 and 6 inches for the junior leader. The junior leader can only issue orders to his own squad, while the senior leader can issue orders to anyone in the platoon, including support weapons. So some of the orders that can be issued, you can tell them to go on Overwatch, which is like an ambush and bolt action, where you fire at a unit that moves or shoots at you. You can also order them to go tactical, which tells them to hit the deck, find the nearest cover the best they can. It increases their cover save. And there's several other orders. I won't go over all of them right now, but hopefully during the game we can get enough examples of different orders and different commands that can be given, such as removing shock and stuff like that. But anyway, he's armed with the MP40 as well as the 3 squad leaders. So your senior leader is your squad leader, your platoon leader, lieutenant. Some armies, including early war German armies, have a 2nd senior leader, which is a platoon sergeant, which is always nice to have. 2 senior leaders are very much an advantage over a platoon with 1 senior leader. So the squad leaders are also armed with MP40, and the 6 rifles obviously are 6 rifles, and then you got your MG34 on these guys, the LMG team. So that's it for the Germans. Go see what the Russians are bringing. So here we have the Russian platoon. Very similar setup, sort of, to the Germans, except there's one big difference here. So you got your senior leader. He's only got a pistol, so that's one difference. You got your 3 squads, sergeant with submachine gun. But for the Russians, they don't have 2 teams. They have 1 big team, basically. So this whole blob here is the squad. There's not 2 teams. The Russians didn't have that kind of tactical finesse like the Germans had. So they just put everyone in a big group and send them out. So the smallest unit these guys operate in is the squad, and it's a 7 rifles and a 2-man LMG team, and the squad leader with the SMG. That is the Russian force. They don't have 2 senior leaders either in this one, so it'll be even there. That's about it. And now we will talk about the mission. This game will be using Scenario 2, the probe, as kind of the chain of command community consensus on the best mission to play if you're teaching someone or learning the game, because it kind of forces you to move and fight, as opposed to if we were to do scenario 1, the patrol. That usually turns into kind of just a long range firefight for the whole game. But this the probe is, it forces one of the players to actually move and fire and fight instead of just shooting at each other from a distance. So in this one, the objective is for the attacker to get a team from his edge, be playing long table edges, touching the enemy table edge, and then if he can do that with a team, then he will win. Patrol phase, we'll go over that when we do the patrol phase, but for the patrol phase, the defender is going to get 4 patrol markers. He'll have a 12-inch area that he can deploy those patrol markers in. They just have to be within 12 inches of each other. The attacker is going to be on the baseline on his long table edge, and all his patrol markers, he'll get 3, will be stacked on top of each other, and he will have to go from there. He will, however, get some free moves. Before anyone moves, he'll get up to 4 free moves with his patrol markers. So while the Russians are, I'm sorry, we don't know who's attacking yet, but while the defender is going to be 12 inches up to start, the possible 4 free moves that the attacker gets are going to kind of equal that out. So I've talked about the base platoons. There are many more units that you can bring to this game, and those are called force support. So for force support for this one, it's D6. The attacker rolls a D6. That tells you what support you're gonna be able to get, and the defender will get half of that. Attacker may not select entrenchment, static defenses, or preliminary barrage. The defender may not select a preliminary barrage. And what that does, the preliminary barrage just makes it harder for the enemy to come onto the table. So we'll just look at Germany as an example here. So this is the platoon that I picked, infantry platoon. Oh, I forgot my Panzerschreck team. Okay. Well, I'll have to put that out there. That's important. Oh, and the Panzerfaust. Okay, well, I'll have to reconfigure that. But anyway, I'll get those out. But here's the support list here. So this shows you all the different supports you can get from list 1, which is small stuff like minefields and barbed wire, all the way up to list 11, which is Tiger 2, Sturm Tiger, Jad Panther. So it's pretty much all the German stuff. This is kind of a generic one. There's other lists that I have that are tailored specifically for different periods of the war, like early war Germans, and they have obviously very limited support list. Here it is right here. Only goes up to 5. Biggest tank you can get is like a Panzer 4D. But anyway, so the way it works, I'll roll a d6, or whoever's attacking will, and let's say we just get a 6. So the way you can do it, you can pick something off list 6, or you can pick any combination of lists below list 6, as long as they all equal 6 in the end. So you can pick something off list 5 and list 1, list 4, list 2, 2 off list 3, and so on and so forth. So it's there's quite a bit of stuff. I mean, you can bring a lot of cool stuff. It's a good way to get a lot of models that you might not normally buy for other games, but you know, this one you might say, I want my 37mm AA gun. I'm not going to use that in bolt action, but you know, in this game it's pretty deadly. So anyway, that's the support. So attack and defend, the probe. So that's the mission we're going to do. So what we'll do when Andre gets here, we'll roll off, see who's who, and then we'll see who's going to be doing what, attacking or defending. And then once we decide that, we'll do the patrol phase. Normally we just kind of blow through that, but tonight we're gonna go over it more in detail because it's a big part of the game. It represents your men or a previous platoon or platoon scouts have gone up, and they get up as far into the battlefield as they can before they make contact with the enemy. So the patrol phase represents the limit that you can go to safely before you're going to be in imminent contact with the enemy. So that should do it for that. I guess real quick I'll just talk about the terrain on this map. So everything on this map is soft cover. No hard cover on this map. Buildings, normally buildings like in Normandy are going to be hard cover because they're stone buildings, very stout. These are Russian shacks, just made of thin wood. There's nothing stout about them. Fences are wood. This wheat field here, the way it's going to work is it will be soft cover if you're stationary in it. The wheat's not very high, so if you move into it and you stop, you will be in soft cover. But if you're moving, advancing through it, you will not get any cover. These are going to be orchards, so they're light cover if you're in here, and you can also only see 6 inches into the orchard. If we had actual woods out here, you can't see 4 inches through woods. So orchards, they're well kept. The ground is cleared most of the time, so you can see farther in. Forest, like these 2 pieces here, you can see 4 inches in, but you can't see 4 inches across. So like this piece here, you wouldn't be able to see. If I was here, I couldn't see across this way because that's more than 4 inches. The fences, we'll say, I haven't decided. I'm kind of thinking maybe if you have to be within 6 inches of them to be seen, because while they're not totally, see-through, but they're also not totally not see-through either. There's slats. Some of them are farther apart than others. It's just kind of a ramshackle fence. So I think if you're within 6 inches of it, you can be seen. If you can't see through 3 of them, and soft cover is like that too, I believe. If you're looking through 3 pieces of it, you can't see. But it also will give you hard cover if you're shooting through 3 that you can see, which is a little bit confusing to me. But anyway, so I'm just kind of rambling on here, but waiting for Andre. But we've gone over the forces, we've gone over the mission, we've gone over the terrain, and as soon as he gets here, we'll roll to see who's who, and we will get started with the patrol phase. So real quick, I did bring the Panzerschreck team in for the Germans. A couple things I wanted to touch on, I just remembered. Consolidated Arsenal. So the force support in the main rulebook is it's outdated. It's been revised quite a bit. There's this thing called the COC calculator that you can use to create your own units. If you want to create a platoon from some country somewhere, there's a way to do that and make it legit platoon in the game. But this Consolidated Arsenal, this updates all the vehicles and support weaponry, and it's for every country. But it'll give you, and it also has a ton of units that aren't in here. So like for example the Germans, the elephant. There's an elephant, there's a Ferdinand, there's a Brumbar in here, one of my favorite tanks, German tanks. So it gives you an updated support list, what support list they're on. It gives you some updated stats as far as AP, which is armor piercing, ADG, which is high explosive, secondary armament, speed, and notes. So like low profile, this makes it harder to hit. If it's small, it makes it harder to hit again. Those stack. But yeah, this is something, if you're going to play this game, you need to go and get the Consolidated Arsenal. I'll try to remember to put the link for that in the description of this video. But it's good to have because it gives you a lot more options as far as what weapons you can take, and it also updates a lot of the stats, and especially the support list number. Like for example the 222 scout car, it's list 5 in this one, list 6 in the rulebook. and that's based off what the COC calculator came up with. There's also another thing that you might want to get, and that is the updated force strength rating table. So the Soviet Union, for example, is another thing I forgot. They're at -3. So the German platoon is a 0. So the way that works, some platoons are inherently weaker than others. So to balance that out, they've added a force rating to each platoon. So the difference between the force ratings is the person with has the difference will get that many more support points for free. So this platoon of Soviets, they're at -3, and the Germans are at 0. So there's a difference of 3 between them. So the Soviets will actually get D6 or whatever. If they're the attacker, they'll get D6 plus 3 automatically. So they automatically will be 3 more support points ahead of the Germans, just because they're a weaker platoon to start with, and it's just a game balance thing. So anyway, just wanted to quickly mention that those things before we get started. All right, so Andre's here now. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll to see who's who. So instead of saying whoever rolls higher picks, because then no one wants to pick, so we'll say whoever rolls higher is the Germans.
Okay.
So I am the Germans.
Well,
now we roll again. Whoever rolls higher is the attacker. Cock die. Oh. So the Russians under Andre will be attacking.
the Germans.
Attacking the Germans, yes. Okay, so we're going to roll for our support right now. So since Andre's attacking, he gets D6. Ooh, 5. Plus the 3 for being a force rating lower. So you get 8, and I get half of that, so I get 4.
Okay.
Okay, so another very important part of this game, which may be the most important part of this game, is the force morale. So we're both going to roll a dice, and it's going to tell us what we're starting force morale is. So we'll just do that real quick. So I got a 2, so I believe that's a 9, right?
Yep, because you only go down on a 1.
And a 5,
And a 5
so you're
means
at
I would
10.
go up. So a 6 I would have had an 11, but I get to start at 10.
Right. So on a 1, you start at an 8. A 5, you start at a 10. A 6, you start at 11, and everything else, you start at a 9. And these are important because usually what we found is this is how you lose or win the game, is by dropping your enemy's force morale to 0. The way that happens is bad things happen, it's called. So every time you lose a leader gets wounded. Every time you lose a team, jump off point, there's quite a few things, but you have to roll on this table called bad things happen. And when you roll on that, it tells you how much you lose. And usually we're kind of go along, and then suddenly everything happens at once.
And it just takes a dive. And once you start losing it, it's difficult to recover because it also affects the number of dice you're rolling if it gets too low.
Right. Yeah, so like this force morale here, this tells you if you have 5 or more on your force morale, you can act as you want. So if you get 4, you lose a command dice, which we'll go over command dice. 3, you lose 2 command dice. If you only have 2 left, you remove 2, and then you remove a jump off point. If you only have 1 left, you remove another. So if you had 1 force morale left, you'd have 2 command dice. So very ineffective force, and you're teetering on the brink of annihilation at that point. So we've rolled our force morale. We'll go over some of the more specifics about that as they come up during the game. But now we're going to begin the patrol phase, which is
Can also be a very decisive factor depending on the scenario. And
yes, as we learned from winning your Spurs, right? But I've talked about a little bit about the patrol phase, but
okay,
we'll do that on camera this time. So we have picked the support. Andre's bringing the KB1 for 6 support points, and a sniper team for 2 support points. And me as the defender, I had half of what he had. But you rolled a 5, right?
Yeah, so I had +3.
Right, so maybe I shouldn't have 4 then, because I don't think I count the...
Oh, my.
So I have to
bonus
round
points.
down. So you had 5, so half of that would be 2. So yeah, let me rethink this then. I only got 2. Hold on. So I'm just going to bring the MG42 anyway. Just to show what it can do. This isn't like a competitive game or anything, so... If it were, there might be some, off-table mortar barrages coming in and everything else.
This is true.
Okay, so anyway, so we're ready to start our patrol phase. So the patrol phase, very important part of the game. So I got here as patrol markers. So I was able to place within 12 of my edge four patrol markers within 12 inches of each other. Andre has 3, and he placed all his in a stack right there. So the way the patrol phase works, you can move a patrol marker 12 inches. It has to stay within 12 inches of another one at all times. So there has to be a chain of patrol markers always within 12 inches of each other.
Or less.
Or less,
They
yes.
can be closer.
Yes. So why don't you roll to see how many free moves you get real quick.
I get free moves too?
You do get free moves.
Wow.
Up to 4. So that's 3. So 1, 2 is 2, 3, 4 is 3, and 5, 6 is 4. So he gets 2 free moves. Actually, you get 3 because you have the higher force morale, so you get to move first in the patrol phase.
So 2 free moves and then start moving?
Yeah.
Okay. So...
So this will determine where Andre, or where both of us, our jump off points are going to be, and when we get to jump off points, we'll go over those. But
So I'm trying to get as far out into the table as I can, but I have to be careful to stay away from Travis's. The good news is he has to move from down there first in order to, because right now he could move this one, but it has to stay within 12 here. So it can only move within an arc, and so long as I keep mine out of that arc, I'm going to be safe here.
right.
So
And
I will move up 12 inches to right there with 2 of them.
so that's
And
just, well, you get 3 free moves.
Oh, 3 free moves?
Yep.
Oh, and then I get my
Now you
next
get
move?
Now we start the patrol phase proper, and you get the first one.
Okay, so making sure...
And the problem, well, not a problem, but the rule is, if you get within 12 inches of an enemy patrol marker, they're locked down. Locked down means they can't move anymore. They're done. As soon as one side gets all of their patrol markers locked down, then the patrol phase is over. Or, even if the other guy hasn't gotten his done, then it doesn't matter. He just has to make do with what patrol marker placement he has. So he's moved his there. So now I will do my movement. I just move this one over to here.
So I will bring this one up to here just to keep
Okay.
leapfrogging forward.
All right, then I'll bring this one here. So we can kind of see where the fighting is going to happen already. It's all going to be on this side over here.
So now, since Travis hasn't moved this one, I've got to stay more than 12 beyond. And it just so happens I can squeak right up this edge and get one way up here.
Yeah, I'll just move this one over here.
Okay, so now I could continue and try and bring this one up to jump out and get to start almost off the board. But of course Travis is going to be able to stop me by moving this one up and locking down some or most of mine.
Right.
So at this time I am too far away to lock him down from back here. But just to give myself some more options on jump off points, we haven't gone over it yet, but I know I'm going to have some jump off points over here. I'm going to try and get a jump off point at least here, maybe over by this church. So I will go ahead and move up like that.
Okay, so I'll move mine. I moved into the field here. So I've gotten within 12 inches of the Soviet patrol marker. So these are both locked down. So these cannot move again. So go ahead, Andre. You got 2 left.
Okay, so looking at where I want to wind up, moving this one up to within 12 is not going to do a whole lot for him. Well,
you got all those fences to get behind, so it's not too bad.
It'd be nice to bring this guy up, and I guess I will have a, well, it's hard to say how, I guess we can find out. So it looks like I can be about here and lock those 2 down.
So you're locking that?
Yeah, I will go ahead and lock that.
Okay. So put your lockdown marker on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get around the back side here, flank you as best as I can. So I can move that there, and I am within 12.
And then my final one, I will just come up and lock down on that one.
Okay, so now those are all locked. So now that Andre's are done, he is locked, all of his. So that's
Even
the
though
end.
you had 2 left,
End of the
it
patrol
ends
phase.
it.
Yeah, so there's a big difference actually between 3 or 4 patrol markers. If you have 3, you can move them obviously a lot faster, especially if you get free moves. But you can't cover as much ground.
So I am trapped in a small corner here.
Right, so now we move on to the jump off point placement. So grab your tape measure, Andre. Here you go. Oh, you got one? Oh, you got 3 of these things, that's right. So jump off points. These are the things that are going to determine where you can deploy your troops from. And the way we determine where those are placed is we take the patrol markers and we make an X with them. So why don't you place one first?
So off this first one, the X would, does that mean
You'd have to be,
I can't place one off of this front one?
yeah, 'cause you can't get 6 inches behind it. So the way it works is you have to be 6 inches behind it, in cover, or immediately behind cover. So you could be behind a fence or in an area of cover like the orchard. But you have to be 6 inches behind your patrol marker. And it has to be in an area, so why don't we just look at that one for example here.
So it looks like it's going to be these 2. So 18, yeah. So it's going to be this one and that one.
Yep, so you make, what you do is you just make an X here across the 2 patrol markers. So that triangle shaped area there is where he can put his jump off point. And it has to be at least 6 inches behind the patrol marker.
So 6 inches puts me here, which is not directly behind cover. It's the middle of the road, so I have to move back to behind this fence
Okay, so go ahead and place one there.
to place my...
Yep. So now it's my turn to place one. You can go, so I guess I can't place here either because I can't get 6 inches behind it. So let's take a look at this one here for me. So I'm kind of looking at this area here. So what I'll do is I'll place one inside that, behind cover, right here. So there's a just jump off point for me. We each get 3. And you can only place a jump off point from one patrol marker. So I placed this jump off point off that patrol marker, so that one's dead. So now we're looking at that middle one there.
And it looks like it's this one and that one.
Okay. So that leaves a big wide area. That's the thing. If one way to really screw up your opponent, which Andre's done to me a lot of times, is if you keep your patrol markers close together, it really limits. I mean, those triangles that you can deploy in are quite small, so it severely limits where you can place your jump off points. So I mean, he can place almost anywhere in that whole table. Little thing right there.
So yeah, so I could drop one back over here. That would bring me up a little ways, but I'm thinking I should probably shoot for something over this way a little more.
Okay, so placing one behind the church. Okay, so behind the church he placed his. Now just kind of an example of. So for this one, I'm trying to get on the flank here, but the nearest two are those two. So you can see the the triangle I can deploy in is quite small.
Luckily, you've got that big field out there.
Yeah, the field is light cover. I didn't tell Andre this, but it's only light cover if you're stationary. So it's the wheat's low. It hasn't grown tall. So if you're moving through it, no cover.
Okay.
If you're stationary in it, you get cover. So I'll just place it just like right there.
And make sure that's 6 inches back, which looks like
Looks like
you're
it.
close.
Okay. And then, so if we're over here, since he's deployed 2 jump off points from these two, they're dead. He's got this one, I got this one. So what we're going to say is he can just deploy 6 inches behind it on the road, just anywhere behind cover.
So coming back
On
6
the
inches and then
Yeah.
behind cover.
Yeah, so if you're trying to place a jump off point and there's no cover, there's nothing you can do, you can go to a table edge. You'll always be able to place a jump off point, but if there's no way for you to place it in or behind cover, you just go to the table edge in that deployment triangle thing. That's all you can do.
And in this one, I couldn't even stay within the triangle because there literally is no triangle there. So I just moved back towards my table edge till I found cover.
Yeah, so and I want to do the same thing here. I'm just going to place it on a table edge 6 inches away from the jump off. Or
Well,
the
I would say on this one, though, that you would be back in here because your triangle
edge.
is
okay.
like that.
So I'll just put it right there. Even though it's not 6 inches, I have no
It's
other-
as good as you can do to
Yep.
end on your table edge.
Right. So anyway, so the way it worked out, I got a jump off point here. I got a jump off point here. I got one here. Andre's got one behind this fence, behind that fence, and behind the church. So that'll do it. So we're about ready to get started. All right, so we're now ready to begin the game. So the way the game operates, there's command dice. So you usually get 5 of them.
So
You just start by
rolling
rolling the
away.
command dice.
So 6s are not usable.
By a single 6.
A single 6. Multiple 6s will give you certain benefits. And 1, 2, 3s, and 4s are going to be what you normally activate with. 5s are used to get a chain of command point or chain of command dice. But since I did not naturally roll any 5s, I'm unable to get a dice this turn.
Right.
But the good news is the 1s through 3s can be added together. So 1, 2s, and 3s can be added together to make 2, 3s, and 4s.
Yeah.
So even though I don't have a 3 here, I can add a 1 and a 2 to make a 4.
A 3.
What are you saying? Just because I'm a math teacher, I can't count? Yeah,
I'm pretty
okay.
sure 1 and 2 is
It's the new math.
Okay. When you also you can't add together to make a 5 or a 6.
Correct. So I could make a 2 2s, a 3 and a 1, a pair of 4s, but the 4s are used to activate senior leaders.
Yes.
Having only one senior leader, I can only use 1 4 per turn. So I'm going to either do 2 1s and a 2, or a 1 and a 3 more likely.
Yeah, so, and the 1s activate a team. So this is a team. The sniper is a team. A 2 can activate a squad. So it can activate one of these squads, and they can come in with the junior leader, but he can't do anything. But a 3 the junior leader activates with his squad, and he can come in and issue orders.
And the 4 is obviously the senior leader coming in issuing orders.
Yep.
So I can bring my senior leader in, but
but what?
once your senior leader is out of the reserve area, he's no longer back there telling everybody who's going next and getting the men into the field.
Right.
So if he's out in the field, the reserve area becomes chaotic, meaning I would then have to roll, and there'd be about a 50% chance each roll or activation that the troops would not actually make the rally point and come onto the field.
Right.
So for now, even though I've got the 4, the senior leader is not coming in.
Yeah. Oh, and the tank has a junior leader in it, so he activates on a 3.
So with the 3, I could bring in the tank if I wanted to.
Yeah, normally a tanks come in on a road, but since there's no roads on our edges, you just pick a point. It says any point, but I like to have it. We like to keep it kind of close to a jump off point. If
Especially in this scenario, because I could choose a point down here and just
Yeah.
motor across.
Yeah.
And
since all you have to do is get off the board, it'd be
so
kind of a quick
I
game.
would. What do you think? Within this, from
Yeah.
here to this fence, sound good?
Yeah, that'll work.
So somewhere in this field area, the tank will come in.
Okay, so he just needs to decide what he's going to bring in. So with the 3, Andre's deployed a squad.
And because it was a 3, not a 2, I can use an order to order an Overwatch.
Yes. So their Overwatch means they can shoot if they see an enemy move in their line of sight. This game does use facing. So they're facing this way. So the shape of that Overwatch is kind of the shape they can cover. And they can shoot anyone that moves or shoots at them. They cannot shoot at me if I just deploy from a jump off point. And with the 1, he put his sniper inside this church.
I just set him in front of the church because this church does not have a removable roof.
Well, you can lift it.
Well, now I just have to remember he's in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's part of the game, yeah. So anyway, so that's all he was able to do. He didn't bring his 4 because he didn't want to strand his guys out off the table by bringing his leader in. So that was it for Andre's phase. So now I will do the German phase. Same deal, 5 dice here. Hey, look at that, 2 6s.
Shouldn't you have waited a little longer before telling them about the special 6 rules?
Yes, as we said earlier, 1 6 by itself is nothing. 2 6s though, that's a good thing because
And a
it gives
5.
you the next phase. So now, not only do I get to do this phase, but I get to do the next phase as well, and a 5. So the 5 gives me 1 chain of command point. When I get 6 of these, I have a chain of command dice. And when you have that, there's a lot of cool things that you can do to help your cause out. So, but the downside of getting rolls like this is you don't get much to play with. So I wound up with a 1 and a 2.
Which actually you could bring in 2 things or 1 thing.
Right. I don't have, the only team I have, actually I have the machine gun team. So this Panzerschreck's a team, this machine gun's a team. And so, and I can bring a squad. So I can either bring a squad by itself, or the whole squad comes in, I just can't do any orders. Or I could bring 1 squad with the junior leader and do an order. So let me think about this.
But keep in mind that coming in on a 2 still does allow you to shoot as normal.
Right. Yeah, it's true. You can still shoot.
You just can't go on Overwatch
Or tactical.
or tactically.
Okay. All right. Let me think about what I want to do. All right, so since I got the double phase, what I did with the 1, I brought the MG42 in here, kind of covering that whole area. Over here, I came in the open. This will give me a chance. The double phase means I can actually move these guys if I want. Next phase. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do some shooting. This squad is going to fire first onto those guys. So we can see them. I'm within 6 of the fence, so I can see them right along the edge.
Or at least your machine gun
The
can.
machine gun, yeah, the rifle team cannot. So just the machine gun team can. So German machine guns, belt fed, 8 shots.
So question, what kind of cover do I get here?
You'll get soft cover because I'm shooting through the fence.
Well, you're shooting through 2 fences.
Right. So you got to shoot through 3 soft covers to get hard cover.
So 1 and 2 is just soft cover. 3 would be upping it.
Yeah. Okay, so the belt-fed machine gun, the MG34, gets 8 shots. So small arms, they have 2 ranges. There's a close range and an effective range. Close range means you're hitting on 4s, 5s, or 6s. If you're over 18 inches, you are effective range, and you're hitting on 5s or 6s only. So machine guns are going to open up in that Russian squad. They're needing 5s and 6s. Oh man. 5 hits.
Ouch.
Okay, so he can, well, he's only got 1 squad, so they're all going to go on the squad. So since, and this is how cover works. So cover doesn't help you in the shooting or getting hit. It helps you when you roll to saves. So you have to roll saves in this game like a lot of other games. So if you're in the open, on a 3, 4, you get a shock. On a 5 or a 6, you're dead. He's in soft cover, so it'll actually be a 4 will be a shock.
A 5 is a shock.
Yeah, 4 or 5 is a shock, and a 6 is a kill.
Hard cover would just be
5s and 6s. Okay, so nothing.
everything's below a 4, so
Yeah.
soft cover save.
Yep, so nothing happened there. So that didn't do anything. Okay, so now I will fire my MG42. So this has a effective range of 24 inches, which I'm sure I'm within 24 inches there.
Easily.
Okay, and the tripod mounted machine guns get 10 shots. So I need 4s. So I only got 3 hits there. Okay, so you're in soft cover.
So same thing.
Yep. So
Oh.
1 man killed. Okay. So a couple things here. If you had 2 teams, well, we'll get into that when I get shot at. But,
Yeah.
Leader.
So I've got a leader here. He's denoted by the green base there.
Yep.
And every time I take a casualty, I have to check to see if it was him that was hit.
Yep.
So on a 1, because I took 1 casualty, it was him.
Oh, it was him. Yeah.
Right out of the gate.
Now we have to see what happens to him.
Okay.
So he's hit. We know he's hit. Now we need to see if is he killed. On a 1, he's killed. And a 2, 3. So he's unconscious. So
he has no conscience?
Yes, unconscious. He doesn't though. Yeah. So hold on a second. All right. So here we go. His leader got hit. So he's wounded. No activation for rest of turn. Not phase. We haven't gotten to that yet. This game can go phase after phase after phase and
We've
never
actually-
get to the second turn.
Yeah, never had a second turn.
But there are ways to end the turn. We'll get into that. But anyway, so his junior leader is now unconscious, wounded, laying there, knocked out. So now we're going to go on the force morale thing. So this table here is your bad things happen chart.
Ready for my roll?
Yeah, so we look up junior leader, wounded. So go ahead.
I got a 3.
So a 3. So he's -1. So wounded junior leader is a -1. So he will take that off his force morale now.
Force morale goes from 10 down to 9.
Okay. So that's done. So now he was on Overwatch. So remember, this allows him to shoot at an enemy that fires at him or moves into his arc. So he's got 4 riflemen that are going to fire back on this.
Machine gun getting 4 hits. Or not.
No hits, I think. You're not within 18, right?
No.
So-
Actually, I believe it's almost exactly 19. So, yeah.
Okay. So
I missed it by an inch.
All right, so there's that. So he removes that Overwatch token now. He loses it when he uses it. And now I will go on to my next phase since I rolled the double phase. If I get another one here, the squad's in trouble. No. But I did get 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, which isn't bad. I can bring a lot of stuff in with that.
Yes,
Pretty
you
much
can.
everything. All right, so I brought everything in with the 1. Brought my Panzer Shrek in. I need him. I decided to bring my leader on, so I just wanted to bring everything on. So with the 1, I brought him in. With one of the 2s, I brought this squad in. With another 2, I brought that squad in. And with the 3 and the 1, I brought my senior leader in. I think that's how it was. Okay, so now the senior leader's in, he can start issuing orders to people. So there's a rule, the Germans have a special rule called Maschinengewehr, which means that every senior leader, if a senior leader uses 2 or more command initiatives to activate a machine gun, that machine gun gets that many more shots. So I'm going to order Maschinengewehr with all 3 of my command initiatives for the MG34 onto that squad. Actually, no, I'm sorry, I had a 4. Yeah, I better recheck this. So Panzer Schreck, senior leader, the 2 squads, and then with this 3 I was going to activate that squad again. So first thing I'll do is I'll start off over here. So instead of 10 shots, I now get 13 shots with the MG34 here. So let me count them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So close range, needing 4s. So we got not too great. 5 hits, a lot of misses there. So 5 hits on that squad.
Ouch.
Ooh, man, that is brutal. So he's behind soft cover, so we got 1 kill
And
4
4
shock.
shock.
And check and see if it's your leader, because technically he's not dead. He's unconscious, but he can still be hit. It is. So he's probably dead now. Because, so if the leader loses all his command initiatives, he's dead. So we're all on bad things. Ooh.
5.
Junior leader killed on a 5 is a -2. So the junior leader was killed in that squad. Well, hold on a second here.
Or wasn't I rolling to see what happened to him?
Yes,
a-
you're right. You're
A
right.
5 is just -1.
Yeah, because I guess you're right. Because technically, if you're wounded, no activation for the rest of the turn. It doesn't say -1 command initiative. So you rolled a 5, so it's just another wound.
So another wound, so he's unconscious
So
and
-1.
-1 command.
Yeah, he's hurting. And then you lost, and you had
3 other guys, because I had 4 dead.
no, you had,
Or no, oh,
One
that was
dead.
my only.
Yeah.
So I didn't lose anybody.
but you took 4 shock. So shock is a very important part of this game as well. It accumulates, it reduces the effectiveness of your squad. So, for example, a shock, every point of shock, you move 1 less. We haven't moved yet, but I'm going to move here in a minute just to show how it works. But if he was to move, he would -4 inches off his move for all that shock. The other thing shock does, it can pin you. So if you have more shock, or if you have more shock than you have men in the squad, they're pinned. When you're pinned, you can't move and you shoot at half effect. And then if you have double the amount of shock as you have men, they break, they run off, and possibly rout if the turn ends or they hit the board edge. I think that's it for, yeah, so shock, kill does not produce a shock, but in a way it kind of enhances the shock you have because it gets you that much closer to having more shock than men. So it's kind of a shock, a kill is kind of like a shock enhancer. Alright, so the machine gun fired on the 4. Senior leader, that was all his. Over here, I'm going to fire on them again with the machine gun, and I got the first 3 guys here that can shoot. So can you measure that, Andre? I think it's probably more than 18.
Oh no, you're
You're
within
in.
18 here. Ooh, it is really close. Like, really close. Well, the way I've got these guys balanced up here actually pushed them closer.
Yeah, and I think I don't know if I really measured super accurate out of here either. Actually, I can move up to there. So technically I could move to about right there. I didn't think it was going to be that big a deal, but...
So that puts you within 18
Okay.
with the front row.
Okay, so the front row and the machine gun are going to fire on that squad in soft cover. So I got 8 shots with the machine gun and 3 riflemen. Needing 4s and 5s or 6s. So that's a good roll. So we got here 2, 4, 6, 7 hits. Let's see if it's your leader again. The poor guy.
So 2 dead, 2 more shock.
Yep. So see if it's you later. So this time
On
it'll
a
be
1 or a
2.
2,
Yeah.
he's gonna die.
Nope. Actually, no. If he got knocked unconscious again, I don't know. I still think he should be dead if he takes 2 wounds, but technically, according to the chart, no. So you took 2 dead, and how many shock?
2. So I'm up to 6 shock and 2 dead.
Okay. So how many guys you got in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he's got 7 dudes with 6 shock. So if I can get 2 more shock on him, I could possibly pin that squad. So one of the best tactics in this game is you want to get like a local fire superiority. So if you see a squad and you can get multiple units firing on it, you can do some damage. What you don't want to do is what Andre did and just put 1 squad out. Of course, having that having that double phase didn't help you.
So yeah, I survived your first turn phase, no problem.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to move these guys. So the way movement works, there's 3 ways you can move. So you can roll 1d6 and move, either tactically, which puts you... Tactical means that you increase your level of cover that you're in by 1. So you're hitting the deck, you're crawling around, looking for a hole in the ground or a depression. And so if they went tactical right here, they would be in soft cover. If they were in here and went tactical, they'd be in hard cover. Because they were started in soft, they go to hard. You can also roll 1 dice and move and fire at half effect. So I could roll 1 dice and move up and fire 4 shots with the machine gun. If you move 2d6, you can't shoot, but you can move. So the movement is random in this. It's a little bit odd to get used to, but there's a couple of things that we do that if you're trying to reach a point, you can call it out. So like if I rolled 2d6 right now and I rolled a 12, if I didn't say where I was going, I would have to move these guys 12. Because they got over anxious, they just got overzealous. But if I say I'm going to move up to this fence and stop, and I roll 2d6 and roll the 12, I would move up there and stop. You can also roll 3d6 and run, and that's the fastest you can move. And if you do that, though, you collect a point of shock. Because, per team, yeah. Just to represent, a hell bent for leather charge, and everyone kind of lines up out of place, and you got to reorganize yourself. So anyway, what I'm going to do, I'm going to move 1d6 up here and move at half effect. So I'm just trying to reach here. So I do. So everyone will just move up 4 inches. And then what I'll do is I'll fire the machine gun at half effect. I'm definitely not within 18 now. But I will now fire the MG34 at half effect onto that squad. 8 and 5s and 6s. Ooh, 3 hits. Okay, so I need some shock here to pin these guys. 1 point of shock. So that's not going to do it. So, what do you got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 shock and 7 dudes. He needs 1 more point of shock to be pinned. Or a kill. If I can kill a guy, then suddenly there's that shock enhancement. But anyway, I think that's it. This squad just came in, he came in, so yeah. That's it for the German phase. Alright, 666 and a 3 is calling here.
Oh.
Double 6.
Unfortunately,
and the 3.
I needed the turn to end. So a double 6 gives me an extra turn or phase after this. A 666 would have actually ended the turn, at which point my unconscious leader would have gotten up and said, "Hey,
Yeah.
what are you guys still standing here for?"
Yep.
Okay, I got a 5 for a chain of command dice, so I've got a 2 and a 3 to play with.
With the 2, he brought a squad in. They're back there, but they're technically inside the church.
So this machine gun's gonna shoot out the door, hitting right in here.
So soft cover, probably 18. Effective range or close range? Oh yeah, you're close range.
Way close.
So he's hitting on 4s, 5s, or 6s. And this machine gun is one of those Russian Pan magazine machine guns, so it's magazine-fed machine gun only gets 6 shots, unlike the belt-fed MG34. So what we got
And
here?
what an awesome roll.
They can't shoot the Russians, so 1 hit.
1 hit.
Soft cover. Ooh, shock.
Ooh, shock.
Hey, shock. Okay, now the big boy. So
We're shocked.
he brought in the KV-1.
Okay, so I've got a whole machine gun and a main gun, right?
Yep,
And I can fire both.
that's right. So the way the vehicles work, you bring them in within. A tank can move on 6 inches from the road, or in this case, the edge. He can't move when he comes on. Wheeled vehicles can come on and move, but a tank cannot. Tank has a junior leader, so he's got 2 command initiatives, and each position in the tank is like a guy in the squad. So you got a driver, you got a whole machine gunner, you got a gunner, or a main gunner. So he's going to use both of his command initiatives from his junior leader to fire the whole machine gun and the cannon.
Because he didn't actually drive to that position, we were there, we're just revealing ourselves out of cover.
Right, yeah, whatever.
We threw off our camouflage.
Yeah. So okay, so the main gun has HE. So in this gun, in this game, the tank guns have no range limits. So they're always hitting on 4s, 5s, or 6s because they're a cannon in a small area like this, and it's not going to affect their accuracy at all. So he's going to fire an HE shell. Every time that you fire HE, so there's a number with each weapon is assigned HE amount. This one happened to have 7, which is a lot. So he'll roll 7 dice, hitting on 4, 5s, or 6s. So 4 hits. Another benefit of HE is it reduces cover by 1. So he is shooting through the fence, which should give me soft cover. But at the same time, actually, technically, Andre, I don't know if you can shoot through the orchard. Remember, because 6 inches? Are you cutting 6 inches through where you are? Through the orchard. That blocks line of sight. So you can't see
Yep, I blew it.
more than 6 inches. You want to reposition the tank. This is a friendly game.
Okay, so
We'll let him rethink this.
So as we were originally positioning the tank under the haystack, we figured out that we didn't have a good line of sight there. Actually, that's not going to work either,
Why?
because now I'm more than 6 inches from the fence.
Yep. So it's a tough place to put a tank. Well, we'll let Andre think about it. Tank has been repositioned over to here. So he now has a line of sight straight down right into my machine gun team. So same deal. We'll just use the same roll. You got 4 hits. I am in light cover, but HE reduces cover by 1 level. So I'm now in the open. 1 dead. I have 1 dead.
And no shock.
Nope. So I'll just take a dude out. That produces no shock, so.
And now I've got the whole machine gun.
And now the whole gun will shoot 6 shots at the machine gun as well.
But my range on the whole machine gun,
That does have a range limit. It's 18, I believe.
and we're
Well over.
way over that. So I will need the big rolls of 5s and 6s. My 4 doesn't count that time.
Okay. Another dead and a 2 shock.
No.
Oh, that's right. It doesn't reduce. So 1 shock and 1 dead.
Yes, because you're in light cover this time.
Yes, I forgot. Not HE. Alright, so that did some work on my machine gun. And he gets another phase, so he could probably take out that MG34 tree there if he gets another 3 on the next roll. So that's it for this phase. He fired the guys out of the church. He fired the machine gun. So let's go to your second phase here. Couple 5s.
So I got 2 more for that. 1, 3, 4. So the 1 can be my sniper. I could bring in my last team and my senior leader possibly.
Okay, so that was with the. So we brought his senior leader in with the 4. You removed 2 shock from them, so it went from 7 to 5, and then he ordered them to move back away from the fence. He rolled an 8, right?
Yep.
So
Three.
-5. He had a 3-inch move, which got him just back to the fence. Over here, he brought in another squad. So all his squads are in. He's got one in the church. He brought his other squad in there, and they can see 6 inches across that, so they were going to fire onto that squad there with the machine gun. And how many more guys you got there? Got a bunch of rifles.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rifles, but these two I don't think are going to be able to. Actually, he should be able to see. I don't think that guy can. So 6 rifles.
Okay, so 12 shots.
So 6 with the machine gun. Woohoo!
Are you within 18?
It doesn't matter, but
Why?
because I didn't roll any 4s.
Oh, well, but it does matter. Yeah, you're within 18.
Yeah.
So you got 1 hit with the machine gun, so go ahead and roll the rifles. And 2 hits.
This is bad.
So we got 3 hits. Okay, so now there's another important part of this game here we can talk about. So I have 2 teams. Earlier, Andre couldn't do this because he had Russian squads are one big squad. So, but if you have a squad that has 2 teams, or if you have other support units or other squads within 4 inches of the target, you spread the hits out.
And by target, I should have actually declared it, but we knew because of the line of sight that all I could see was the machine gun team.
Right.
So he knew I was targeting the machine gun team.
Plus, we always target the machine gun team.
Well,
every
there's
time
that
anyway.
too.
But anyway, so I got 3 hits, right? So what I do, every team within 4 inches of the target, which was the machine gun, takes a hit. So I'll put 1 on the machine gun. I'll put 1 on the rifles. And the odd hit is placed by, if I'm in cover, if the target is in cover, whoever's controlling that target gets to place the odd hit. If I was in the open, the shooter would get to place the odd hit. So I'm just going to place them on the rifles because I want to keep that machine gun team
As healthy as you can.
as humanly possible. So 2, I'm in soft cover there. Oh,
Oh.
man, 2 dead rifles. And nothing on the machine gun. So I got 2, so if I roll a 1 or a 2, my junior leader is hit. No, so just 2 dead rifles. But no shock. But it does enhance the shock, as we talked about earlier. So I lost 2 riflemen. And I have 1 shock from earlier.
And I also had a 1.
Yep. That's
So
right.
my sniper up here.
Sniper is going to fire. So he always hits on a 3+. And snipers can only activate on a 1. They cannot be commanded. You got a 1. So missed. Bing. What was that? Worst sniper in the army. Okay, so that's it for you, right?
That is all of mine.
Alright, so we'll go straight into the German phase. So, 1, 2 1s, a 3, a 4, and a 6 that's burned. Let me think about what I want to do. With the 4, I activated my lieutenant. He took a shock off the machine gun. He ordered them to move back from the fence to get away from that tank. So now we're 6 inches from here.
And you took a shock for that.
We did take a shock because we moved with 3d6. I wanted to make sure I made it. Because just before that, I tried to get these guys to move up to this fence, and I rolled a 4. So they only moved 4 inches. Same with these guys. With his last command initiative, he ordered this squad to move, trying to get up here, and they only rolled a 4. So they didn't make it very far. So with my last command dice, I have a 3, and I'm going to activate this squad here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to get over the fence. So regarding obstacles, like a high obstacle, like a fence like this, which is over their head or about the same height as them, the way you do is you roll 2d6. You can't do 1, you can't do 3, you can only do 2. You roll 2d6 and remove the highest dice, and that's how far you can move. If it was like a waist high or a small wall or something, it would be the opposite. You roll 2d6 and remove the lowest. I guess I'm kind of rethinking this here now, Andre. I need a pretty good roll to get this last guy over there.
Yes, you would.
So I think I'm going to change my mind. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the shock off with 1 command initiative.
Okay.
And I'm going to move back this direction.
Okay.
I rolled a 10 on these guys' roll, so they moved pretty far. I I didn't point out where I wanted to go. I actually wanted to kind of end up about here, but I never said that. And actually, it has to be a known point. Like, I'm moving to the tree or the edge of the... You couldn't just say, I'm going to move here, I want to move here. It has to be actually a obvious point on the board to move to. So anyway, that's my turn, or my phase, I'm sorry. Now it is the Soviet phase.
Oh, it's this.
Phase.
Oh,
And a bunch of, hey, you're rolling like the
man.
Germans. That's a German roll, Andre, with the 3 4s with 1 junior
Well,
leader. Or senior
now,
leader.
so I usually play Americans or British, and they would love a roll like this.
Yeah. Well, they always have 2 senior leaders.
Well, so if I've got my 2 senior leaders and my tank
Oh, if you have a tank platoon, yeah.
platoon, then this roll could be a game winner.
You can win you can move everyone. But unfortunately, you're playing with Lieutenant Pavlov or whatever his name is, and he can do one thing.
So he can remove 2 shock and order the team.
So he's removed 3 shock because, like he just was saying, he had so many shock that he had to remove the high to get over the fence, which he was planning. Probably wouldn't have made it. So he just used all 3 of those command initiatives on the lieutenant.
But it worked out with the double phase because now I can
So the second phase, he gets 2 5s. So he's creeping up on a chain of command dice.
Yeah, but I really wanted to do more than this. So the 6 doesn't do anything. And if I want to try and save these guys, because I don't have a junior leader that I can activate on the 3, I would have to make a 4 in order to do anything here.
Yeah.
So
basically, that lieutenant is taking command of the squad.
yes.
Now, until that guy gets up.
And
or is-
all I got to do for 2 turns was to tell them to get a move on. So he's going to remove their last 2 shock and tell them to jump over the fence with him.
All right, we'll see if you can make it. 2d6 removing the highest.
Get back here, boys.
Nope. Well, you can move over 1. So they do make it, but that was 2d6 remove the highest. So all he could do, since he's right up against it, he can just plop right over.
But had I not been right up against it,
Yeah,
that
you'd be
would have
screwed.
been a terminal.
So those guys actually, I mean, they
dragged their.
dragged the leader with them. They're not going to leave him there. So they were up here 1 shock away from being pinned, and now they're pin free and back there.
Behind multiple
Yeah,
cover.
So I blew my chance. I just didn't. Yeah, it didn't happen. It was close, but
It was
that
real
senior
close.
leader saved their bacon over there.
But it cost me. I haven't been able to do anything else.
Yeah, yeah. He
Been-
2 phases. It took 2 phases to do all that.
Well, 3 actually. But
3 German phase. So I get finally get another chain of command point. And well, bunch of decent. That's not too bad. All right, so I had 3 2s and a 1. So 1 2, one of the 2s. I moved this squad up to the fence as I was trying to do last phase, and then these guys made it up to the fence. And with the 2 and the 1, I made a 3, and I pulled these guys back into the orchard. So Andre's all proud because he drove me off. I'm falling back. So that's it for my phase. So Russian phase here. Another double phase. Well, maybe you can get that squad to do something this time. And
Yeah.
a bunch of 5s.
maybe we'll attack. Okay, so now I actually have a chain of command die.
Yep.
Which
So there's quite a few things you can do with that. So what can you do with that, Andre?
Oh, well, I could do. The most popular choices are to end the turn or to
Interrupt.
do an interrupt.
Yep.
If I still had someone in reserve, I could do an ambush, but I don't have any reserves for an ambush. So if I end the turn, I could allow my junior leader to recover.
Yep. You could do that. And there's a couple other things real quick. You can relocate your sniper. You can avoid taking a forced morale test, or you can keep a mortar barrage going if you have one. Because normally, if you're running mortars, off-table mortars, if the turn ends, the barrage ends. Unless you use a chain of command dice to keep it going.
And that's usually the battle of the chain of command dice.
Yeah, you want to get those things built up quick, because if not, your barrage that you paid 4 support points to bring in could be over.
So I
it
got a
leaves you
3.
Leaves you with a 3. All right. Well, so the tank, Andre's moving the tank up 3d6. He's going to go right through that fence, because that fence isn't going to stop a KV1.
And did we ever figure out what fast meant?
No.
Okay.
I don't know what fast means.
So I do have a fast tank, but we're not.
No, that one's not fast.
This. Oh, that's.
It was
the other one.
The
we were looking at. Never mind.
T-3485.
So I've got 12-inch.
12-inch move with the tank. Just take the fence out.
So
It broke down.
we took the fence out, and we're up here now.
Okay.
And
So here he comes.
so I could fire at those
Can't fire if
guys.
you move 3d6.
Oh man! But I wanted to.
Well, you can. You got another phase.
Okay.
So you can do the next phase. So next phase is like your third double phase in a row here.
Not in a row. You're the only one that has
Of the game.
has them all in a row.
Of the game.
Oh wow. Okay, so that puts me up to 3.
So he's got a 1 and a 3. 1 full dice and 3 more, and I'm at 2.
And I can
You can
activate
the
my senior leader, the tank, or the other dudes. I really need to get my senior leader over with the so he can command both squads. So
Yeah,
I
but-
might actually do that.
Yeah, you can still activate. I think on a 2 you can activate those guys, even without a leader.
Okay.
So anyway, we'll let you figure out what you're going to do. So with the 3, the tank tried to move up. He only got 2. Moved up 1d6, right? And you got a 2.
Yeah.
He was trying to get over to here. Could make it. You can't shoot at these guys because the fence is in the way. This squad got out of the church. And these guys, the leader, he ran over there. So leaders can run on their own. It takes a command initiative for them to move.
But they don't take shock.
But they do not take any shock. So you can root 3d6s with them freely and not worry about it. So he was able to move over here and get within kind of range of all these guys. And then I guess you're going to order this squad
To fire.
to fire
And
at them.
if anybody's wondering, yes, it was an error to only roll 1 die for the movement on the tank. I keep forgetting that I can't see past that fence.
Right. So are we within 18 there? Yes. I think we've already done that.
A couple of times.
Alright, so here we go. He's shooting over there. Firefight developing over here. So that's a lot of hits.
So it's only 5.
Oh,
We're within 18.
Yeah.
So 7. So that was a nice roll.
Yep.
And that was a nice roll.
2 shock.
2 shock.
So we got a little firefight developing between the fences over here. Anyone want to take any money on who's going to win this firefight?
Well, obviously the Russians.
The Germans. Alright, I think that was it for you, right, Andre?
Oh yeah.
I need some 5s, man. Ooh, triple phase. Or
Turn ends! Yay!
3 and a 1. Turn ins. So I got 3. I cannot believe that after all that happened to that squad.
They're back up to.
I still think if the guy takes 2 wounds, he should be dead.
It
It just doesn't
can't
seem
argue.
right. It just does not seem right that he got knocked unconscious and hit again. It shouldn't be dead, I think. I've always thought that though. We've run across this before.
This is not the first time that's happened.
Yeah, but it does not say, at least on the sheet there, that you lose a command initiative if you get knocked unconscious. But that sheet has been known to be wrong, so I should look it up in the actual book here eventually. But anyway, I got 3 6s, which means double phase and end of turn. So when the turn ends, several things happen. If there was smoke on the table, which actually I have to tell you, Andre, it's kind of refreshing not having to dodge a bunch of damn 2-inch mortar smoke. Being able to see and shoot, it's nice, man. Because normally the 2-inch mortar that Andre brings, usually at the British, it's a pain in the ass. It's dropping 2-inch smoke balls or 3-inch smoke balls all over the place. Can't see through them.
Well, you'll notice how well I'm moving forward on my assault without any smoke.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard, a lot harder without all the smoke. That's for damn sure. But anyway, when the turn ends, what would happen is the smoke would clear. Any kind of markers you had for Overwatch, tactical, any of those would be gone. wounded leaders get back up, so you can set him back up again.
Well, once you get there, it's at the end of this phase.
That's
to
true.
turn one.
We got to get through this. But anyway,
You gotta take your phase.
so I got a 3 and a 1. So let me figure out what I want to do. All right. So at the 1, I moved the Panzer Shrek over. He only got a 4-inch move. And with the 3, I'm going to order this whole squad to shoot at the Russians. Machine Gewehr, we're still kind of hazy on, because I don't know if I can issue an order to the one command initiative to the squad to fire and then add an extra one to this, or if I have to put both of them just on the team and ignore the rifles. I don't know.
Which is the way it's written, but it doesn't make sense the way it's actually worded.
Yeah, it would be. Why would you want 2 extra shots at the cost of 6 shots? It doesn't make any sense. But anyway, here we go. 4, 5s, and 6s. Oh man, look at them all. Hopefully you don't get as good a saves as I rolled. So we got here 2, 4, 6, 7 hits on the Russian squad. Behind the fence. Ooh, 2 dead.
2 dead, 2 shock.
Yep. So see if it's your leader. Maybe I can knock him out again. No. So 2 men are dead and 2 shock. And that will do it for that phase. So now he gets back up and the turn ends. So actually, technically, we're on turn 2. Like we said earlier, we played entire games for hours and never got out of turn 1. And we've also gone, I think one game at least, we went through like 3 turns in like the first 10 minutes somehow with all this.
Oh, yeah, we just kept rolling 3 6s.
So it's very variable. You never know when a turn is going to end. Anyway, I do get another phase for rolling those. So another chain of command point.
Ooh, look at you go.
That was a 2. So 2 2s and 2 1s. One of the 3s. I tried to get these guys over the fence. Some of them made it. The other guys were able to move up to it. Because I had to roll 2d6, remove the highest. And with the other 1 and the 2, I'm going to make another 3. And we're going to fire again at the Russian squad there. So this firefight is starting to get a little bit one-sided.
Yeah, since you won't let me fire back at you.
Oh, I got the initiative, man.
Initiative? You rolled a end of turn double phase.
So I got 3, 6, 8 hits. You got your head down.
But
Oh yeah,
he's
back.
up now. So 8 hits
8
this
hits.
time?
Yep.
Nice.
Oof. Yeah, only 1 dead.
And 3 shock.
Yep. See if it's your leader. We get knocked out again. Yes. Now roll a 4 or 5 or 6. Ah, he's knocked out again. I don't believe it.
Neither do I.
I'm gonna have to find out for sure about this, man. Because he's been knocked out twice and wounded. There's no way in hell he's still breathing.
And I'm
Oh,
up
and a
to
bad thing.
5 shock.
Of course, actually, that's probably worse for you to keep getting wounded over and over, because every time you do, you roll a bad thing. So
Yep.
5 junior leader wounded, -2. No, I'm sorry, -1. Not a 5.
That sounds more reasonable.
So what are you down to? 8.
8.
So his force morale is 8. I'm still at 9. And then how many guys did you lose?
None.
Well, just 1, right? Yeah, and then but it was your leader.
Yeah.
So you're at 5.
But I didn't lose him. He's just taking a nap.
1 more shock and you're pinned. Man, I cannot pin you. This is the second time I've gotten you to the brink and not been able to seal the deal. So
That's an interesting roll.
Oh, it's really good. You can do everything with that.
Pretty much.
The tank has moved 3d6, getting over here, trying to line up a shot over here. And these guys have actually moved up quite a bit. These guys ran way around. These guys, so the Russians are coming now.
I did a run and got a 16-inch
Right.
move.
And then he took the shock off.
And that's the nice thing about having one squad, because each team takes 1 shock when you run. But because there's just one shock I incurred, a junior leader could give the order and take the shock off.
Another good thing about having one team is you only need to buy one entrenchment for the whole squad.
Well,
'Cause then,
that's nice if you're defensive, but
Yeah. Damn right.
Okay,
so
here
he's
we
gonna
come.
shoot with these guys on them. All right, here we go.
Oh,
All sixes.
man, my rolls are not coming today.
Well, that's not bad. I mean,
It's
4.
not good.
4 hits on the German squad behind the fence. 2 shock. Yeah, you're not doing a whole lot to these guys.
No.
Not yet, but now that you got the tank. Wait, they had 2 shock on them, huh?
Yeah.
So they're 4 shock. Oh, you know, we forgot to remove a dice for yours. Another thing, if you get shock, every 3 shock, I believe, is -1 on your
Well,
shooting
actually,
dice.
you probably should have it 2 and 2 over here, Travis, because you got 2 teams.
That's true.
So
this
we
is the
kind of
opposite.
messed up on how.
No,
So I should have been targeting one of the teams, and Travis should have been distributing the
Yes.
rolls instead of just rolling them all at once.
Right. So let's see here. Pins. Yeah, it's -1 dice per 2 points of shock.
Yeah.
So actually, I should have had -1,
And I should have had -1.
and you should have had. But okay, it's all good. So that's it for you, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we got a general advance going on here in the Russian village. A double phase now would be pretty sweet. No, I did get 2 chain of command points.
Ooh,
Which is good.
You're going to wind up with a die if you're not careful.
Maybe. 2, 3, 4. So with the 4, my senior leader is in command range of all these guys. So they made it, he ordered them over, they barely made it. These guys were able to get over the fence from here. And he ordered up the machine gun to there. And then with the 3, I am going to... So each squad has a Panzerfaust. So I'm going to do an anti-tank. I'm going to shoot the Panzerfaust at the tank. So here's how that works. So shooting at vehicles, you roll 2d6 on a base in the open, no modifiers, you need a 5. If the tank is lightly obscured, which we're saying this is, because of the fence, you need a 7. If it was heavily obscured, like the tank was hull down, or you could just barely see it, you would need a 9, I believe. Isn't it? Yeah, you would need a 9. And this is on 2d6. So I need a 7 base to hit this guy because he's obscured. So Panzerfaust and other infantry-held anti-tank weapons, they do have different ranges. They're called range bands. And every time you move through another range band, you add +1 to that roll to hit. So with this Panzerfaust, I think between 9 and 18 inches, I'm in the second range band. So I need a 7 +1 because I'm the second range band, so I need an 8. So on 2d6, I need to roll an 8 to hit the tank. And they only have the one Panzerfaust, so this is my only chance. Ooh, and I hit it, so I got a 9.
Ouch.
So we'll get the dice together and we'll go over how to do the AP and armor and stuff. So the way that armor and armor penetration works, so every weapon that has AP has a certain number of dice. This weapon, the Panzerfaust 60, has an AP of 11. The tank, each tank has different armor, obviously bigger tanks, bigger armor. This tank has a armor of 8.
So I get 8 dice for my 8 armor.
Yes.
Travis gets 11 dice for his 11.
My 11 AP. So 5s and 6s are what I need. So if you're shooting at it from the front, every 5 or 6 is like a penetration. If you're shooting it from the side, it's 4, 5, or 6, and from there it's like 3, 4, 5, and 6.
And every 5 or 6 I get
Is a save.
is a deflection.
So I got 3.
I got 4.
So he bounced it. So that bounced the shot off. It did no effect.
Russian engineering.
But Should I have penetrated? Or if I would have got more 5s or 6s than him, then you start rolling on. There's different tables for equal hits and saves. 1 net hit, 1 net save, or 2 net hits, and blah blah blah.
And we'll probably get there before this game is over.
Possibly. But anyway, so that was my 1 Panzerfaust. But I am going to shoot the rest of the guys. So the junior leader ordered him to fire the Panzerfaust at the tank. So he's not going to shoot. The rest of these guys are going to shoot, though. Obviously not at the tank. So the 8 machine gun shots and the 5 rifles. Back at the squad there. Oof. Too bad I couldn't roll like that on the armor penetration roll. So 2, 4, 7 hits on the Russian squad, and they're getting pretty lean on dudes over there. It looks like, but I still can't pin them, man. It's so hard to pin a squad. It seems like.
So
this is the leaders pulling shock off.
1 dead and 2 shock.
Okay. We'll see this earlier.
The leader? No.
The leader who's been knocked out twice and wounded.
It was not that
and
leader.
He's still there.
That was not him.
So he lost a guy and took 2 shock.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, it's just crazy hard to pin guys sometimes, especially if they have leaders pulling shock off them.
Well,
Then it makes
especially
it
a
very
senior
hard.
leader.
Well, senior leader, yeah, he's pulling 3 shock per phase off. So anyway, is this knocked over for a reason, or does it keep falling
It
over?
just keeps falling over.
Okay, so I think, yeah, that's it for me. Your phase.
Alrighty.
Everyone's move. Your tank somehow got lucky and bounced off the Panzerfaust.
Well, okay.
Another chain of command dice.
And a 3.
They had was the 3, so he's going to obviously shoot the tank back at this squad. So you get your 7 HE and your 6 machine gun shots. Everything's, well, HE will be reducing cover by 1. So it's put a hurt on the squad here.
That's the idea.
I thought about moving them, but I thought that was my chance to take a shot with the Panzerfaust.
It was. So I got 5 hits there.
Alright. In the open, because it reduces cover by 1.
So there's
2 dead and 2 shock.
2 shock.
Let me see if it's my leader. No.
Oh, and again,
We forgot the target.
yes. So I would say just split it
1 each.
half and half
Okay.
is how it
And I'll
probably
put
would have.
1 shock on each team and take 1 man out of each team. Alright, go for your machine guns.
So that's 6 shots.
Yep.
And
2 hits in soft cover. 2 more shock. And again, we forgot to do it. Well, technically, you can't even see this machine gun team, so
so it would just be 2 on the.
technically, everything should have gone onto the rifles, really.
Well, you're welcome to. I mean,
Because, the rule is if you can't see,
yeah, and I cannot see them from there.
you
so.
can't spread hits to teams that the fire cannot see. So technically, both of them should have came out of this squad. So I'll take 2 men out of the rifle squad, and they'll get the extra shock. So they're at 6 shock. Is that right? Seems like an awful lot.
So 9 total.
That doesn't seem. There's no way.
No, so 8 shock total. So they're not pinned yet,
No.
but they are so close.
I'm gonna say, man, it's hard to pin units sometimes. You can get right to that point, and then the leaders start taking stuff off.
But it's amazing how quick that shock can start adding up.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's right. I might have too much on them. I was adding and subtracting, and I don't know if I did it right. But anyway, we'll just say it's good. So my shot or my phase. Yeah, finally, chain of command dice, and a 6, and 3 1s. Well, I know what I gotta do with the 3 ones. Let's just put it that way. I need to try to get these guys out of here. But they got so much shock that they're not gonna move anywhere. What I need to do is get my senior leader over here to help out. With the 3 ones, I made a 3. And I'm gonna try to get these guys out of here. But it's gonna be hard. I took 1 shock off the rifle team. And now I have 1 more command initiative. I'm gonna try and get them the hell out of there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna roll 3d6.
But that'll put 2 additional shock on.
5, 6, 7. Yeah, but I gotta get out of here.
But you'll have 9 shock at that point. Or did the shock go on after you run?
Yeah, I take it back. If I run, I'll pin myself. Which would be just a little odd.
That's something we've never done before.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna make them go tactical then. I can't move. I have too much shock to move. Even if I rolled a 12, I still would only move like 5 inches. But anyway, I'm gonna. Okay, got it. I'm gonna. So I took a shock off, and then I'm gonna put them tactical. So what tactical does, it actually will increase their level of cover that they're in by 1. So they are now in hard cover.
And you could actually move tactically, so you could roll 1d6 and then subtract 7 from it.
Okay. So I can go negative 1 inch. Even if I roll a 6. And that's it for my phase. Yeah, that's all I can do. Got too much shock piling up on me.
Which, kind of the same situation I was getting into over here.
Yeah. Of course, you can't activate your tank. So he rolled 2 more 5s. Jesus. That's a lot.
A 6.
Worthless 6, 4
and
and 2.
a 2.
So you had a 4. He used his leader. He ran him around to there with 1 order. And he ordered these 2 squads to move up. They moved up to there. And then over here with the 2, he's going to fire onto these guys here. So you got 8 shots.
But I've got 5 shock, so that reduces it by
minus
2.
2.
So I've got 6 shots.
Okay. And 3 hits. Not too bad.
About average.
I am in light cover, or hard cover now, because I am behind hard cover and
tactical.
And I lost a dude.
Ooh, does that pin you?
It is just a dude. I'm assuming you were targeting the machine gun team. We keep forgetting to do that. So 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope. You need 1 more.
Good thing you took that shock off last time, huh?
Yeah. Always take a shock off. Always. If you can, you never know when that 1 shock coming off might save your rear end.
Fade off there.
All right, now back to the German phase. Double phase. No. Nope. But that's
You
decent.
can do a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah. Use 1-3 to move this squad around here. Debated using the hand granaten German rule, but we do want to get at least 1 assault in here at some point in this game just to show how that works. So that was a 3. With the 1, I moved my Panzerschreck over this way. Another 3, I took 2 shock off of them, and with the 4, I'm gonna do machine gun onto that squad in the open there. That's 13 shots. 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 10. Should have counted these out before, but I will. It's gonna be a long enough video as it is. So 4s, 5s, and 6s, and soft cover for shooting through the fence. Not too good, not too bad, I guess. Not average. So 5 hits.
Oh, I can spread them out, can I?
Yeah, so if any team within 4 inches,
And I actually have a second team within
and your
4
senior
inches.
leader's within 4 inches too. Imagine that.
Well, yeah.
So I got a chance of hitting a leader here. So
Okay,
What'd I say?
so
4 hits,
5.
5 hits. Okay, so he can split them up. So he can put since he can put them wherever he wants, so he's got to do them evenly. So 1, 2, 3.
So I'm going to
4.
put 3 here and 2 on the other team.
Okay.
So the 3.
So that's
1 dead.
1 dead.
And the 2 is 2 dead.
Wow. All right, see if it's your leader. So from here, nope.
And from here, no.
So 2 dead out of this squad.
Out of here.
And 1 dead out of that squad.
And they're starting to fall.
Yeah. And that is it for the German phase. Let's see what the Russians can do.
What can the Russians do? Hey, we're
Another
working on another die. We got 2.5 dice.
Nice. With the 2 and a 1, he's making a 3. Moved 1 inch with the tank.
Woohoo! Firing the main weapon.
So
4 hits.
4 hits. And I am in soft cover now, though, because I was in hard cover, but reduced by 1. So we'll
2
do it
on
this time.
each. Hey, wow, look at
2
that.
on each. Is that good? Are you happy with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. On the machine gun team. 2 shock. And then on the rifle team, a shock. So these guys go to 4.
4, and they go to 4, and you are now pinned.
We are pinned, finally.
Woohoo!
We don't have the pin markers, but we'll use one of these broken markers upside down.
So you're tactically pinned.
Yeah, and pinned also will do the same thing as tactical. It'll increase your cover by 1. Unfortunately, it doesn't stack.
Except, wouldn't it stack with the HE? Because the HE takes the cumulative.
I don't think so. I think, no. If you were in a...
I know you can't get better than hardcover,
But
if you're in hardcover and
I'm
you're
not in.
Well, I'm just saying, if you were in hardcover and you went tactical and you took an HE, you'd still be considered in hardcover.
Yes, you would. But I'm not in hardcover, and like I said earlier, or in another game, you can only get so close to the ground. Once you're down there, you're down there. Unless you're digging. Okay, you still got machine gun, right?
No, because I moved. So no machine gun fire. You're off.
I'm off the hook.
Off the hook there. But I do have a 4, so I am going to have these guys. They're going to run this direction.
Okay, running 3d6.
13.
All right.
So 13 will. Oh
They're gonna
wow!
assault.
It looks like we have an assault. Ooh. That was a major mistake on my part. Oh, except you're
I am pinned, so it'll cut me in half. But even then, I still probably have a lot. But yeah, so if you want to do it, we need to get an assault on the video. You can assault me.
I didn't think I was. I didn't realize I was that close. But yeah, I probably should have done it coming around this direction. But
Yeah.
I didn't declare that. I declared it this way.
Okay, so we're gonna prepare for the assault. All right, so here we go with the assault. So I'll start with mine. So the way this works, there's a chart, and I probably should look at the chart here. But so you get 1 per guy, minus leaders. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 men. So they each get 1.
So you're at 6.
The leader, he gets 1 per command initiative.
That's another
2 more.
2 more.
He gets 2 more. Every submachine gun gets 2 more.
So there's 2 more.
And then you count how many dice the enemy moved at you with, which was 3 dice.
3 dice.
I also get 4 dice for having a light machine gun,
4 dice.
and that's only for the first round. I am defending hard cover.
Light cover.
I'm sorry, light cover, which gives me 1d6 for every 3 dice I have.
So right now you're at 17 dice.
Right?
So
it's 5 dice.
1d6 for every 3.
3, yeah.
So that would be 5 more dice, yes.
Yep.
All right.
So that's my total, but the
So-
modifiers here. So what do we have so far?
So you're at 10, 17, 22.
22. Okay, but per shock. So every 2 points of shock, I remove 1d6. So I got 8 points of shock.
So that's going to be 4 dice gone.
Yep. And then I am pinned. So this is what I have left.
So you're at 18,
So I remove half for being pinned.
which brings you down to
9
9.
dice. Okay. So why don't you go over real quick what you got?
Okay. So counting my guys, I have a senior leader and a junior leader. So other guys, I've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's going to give me 9 dice.
Right.
I get junior leader has 2 command initiative. Senior leader has 3 command initiative.
Right.
I've got an LMG, which gives me 4. I've got a SMG, which gives me 2. And
I think that's it.
that does it for me, which comes up with 10, 20.
Okay. So he gets 20 dice. I get 9 dice. So the way this works, you roll all your dice, and 5s or 6s are what you're looking for. So a 5 and a 6 is a kill. There's no shock, or there is shock, I should say. A 5 is just a dead guy. A 6 is a dead guy plus 1 shock. So these things can be pretty bloody. Even though I'm totally outnumbered, I can still give them a pretty bloody nose if I can get some good rolls.
I could come out of this badly. So
So I'll just roll mine over here. Needing 5s or 6s. So that's not too bad.
you got 4.
4 dead and 3 shock.
So I can probably survive this if I don't have a horrid roll.
Yeah. Should be able to take me out.
And it looks like I barely did.
Okay,
And by
so-
barely, I mean, oh. Okay, so
What do you got there?
5 kills.
Okay, it didn't take me out, but we got to roll for leaders. So 5. So on a 5 or less, my leader is hit. So he's hit. Let's see what happens to him. He's knocked unconscious. So bad things happen. Leader wounded, a 4. Junior leader wounded on a 4 is a -1. So I go down to 8. And so he takes one of those kills.
Right.
Was that? So there's 4 left. So I'll just take them all out of the rifle team, I guess.
Okay.
So that leaves me. They're broken,
Plus
obviously.
4 plus 4 more shock.
Plus 4 more. So they're definitely going to break. So let me just see. So if they broke, they have more shock than men. So if they break, you roll 2d6 and you add 6 into that. That's how far you move back.
So you got an 8.
8 plus 6. So that is enough to get me off the board. So this team, even though they weren't killed, they did rout, and they take their leader with them. So they're going to run off the board.
So the team running off the board isn't a bad thing happening, but because they had the junior leader with him, his routing is another bad thing happening.
No, they broke. So there's
Yeah.
team section
Junior
breaks.
leader routes.
Yeah, but section breaks is something.
Oh, section breaks is something also.
Yeah. So let me roll for that one. Section breaks 2.
Is -1.
Okay, and then junior leader routes is 5.
That's -3.
What? Junior leader routes is -3?
Yes.
Holy crap.
Junior leader routes is either -2
So,
or -3.
Suddenly
on
I'm down to
5 or 6.
5. So you lost, how many guys? I forgot what you lost. You lost 4 guys, and you had 3 shock, I believe. Something along those lines.
Okay.
So roll to see if it's your leader.
So is it one of my leaders? Yes.
Yes, it is.
So we usually go junior leader is low, senior leader is high. It's my junior leader. And it is a dead.
Outright killed. Alright, so roll bad thing happens, junior leader killed.
And I got a 5.
That's -2.
Okay, so I'm suddenly down to a 6.
Yeah, I'm at a 5. And then he lost 3 more guys.
And 3 more guys.
Alright.
And
he
I took
3 shock, I believe.
3 shock.
2 or 3, I can't remember.
We'll make it 3. It's
I don't remember what it was. Okay, so there's the assault. So it's a very bloody thing.
and I get to regroup 1d6, I believe.
I think you just get to reoccupy.
Or I can
that
reoccupy the position.
Yeah, you. So of course I don't know if you could get those guys all the way over here, but I guess that's all it says. So if you want to do that, or you can just move up to the fence. It's up to you.
I'm not sure I want to get in the arc of that machine gun at the moment.
Okay.
I'm just gonna
Get behind the building.
kind of consolidate over this way and lick my wounds a little bit.
All right. So that's that. Is there anything else you're gonna do? I can't remember.
So that was my 4.
And your 3 with the
was
tank.
the tank, and that means I've got a 2 left, which these guys are going to attempt to run, or not, are going to move back
Behind
the
the
back of the building no further than halfway.
Okay, to the window.
or less.
Or they'll just move to the corner of the building, past the chickens, and
So they'll just move back 3 inches.
that was it, right? So now it is German phase.
Yep.
Okay, here we go. Hey, another chain of command point. Man. Oh well, I blew it with that one. 4 threes. 4 threes. 4 threes, man. That means I can't activate my damn machine gun. Of course, I got no targets.
Yeah.
But I do have 2 threes I can use. So I move this squad this direction. This squad won on Overwatch. That's all I can do. I got 4 threes. So I couldn't activate my leader, my senior leader, couldn't activate my Panzerschreck, couldn't activate my damn machine gun. And I only have 2 squads left, so all I can do is activate those 2. So that'll do it for me.
Okay.
Your go.
Woohoo. So I'm at 6, so I'm still rolling on full dice.
Yep.
And still building up more.
We should start using some of these things eventually.
It's going to happen here soon because there's not much left.
Nope.
All right.
Tank got a hell of a roll. 14-inch run up to there, and then with the 3, he removed all the shock from the squad. Now we go back to the German phase. Double phase would have been nice there, man.
Yeah.
3 1s and 2 4s. So with the 4, one of the 4s, I moved these guys 2d6. I got 10, so they're able to move over here. They have a Panzerfaust. With another order, I had this MG34 crew turn. And with the 3rd order, he's going to order them to fire the Panzerfaust. I do have. Oh man, I can't move those guys because I need the 1 for the Panzerschreck. So I had put the 3 1s together to move them, but I'm going to move them back. I need those. No, I can use the 2, right? Yeah. So with 3 1s, I can use 2 to make a 2, and then 1 for him. So he's going to use one of his chain of command dice to interrupt, which is one of the functions of the chain of command dice. So he can fire on this squad here.
So I got 6 shots of HE.
Okay.
No, 7. 7 HE coming at you.
All right. 3.
3 hits.
Okay. 3 hits. In the
Less
open.
than in the open.
Ooh, 3 dead. That's not good. Not the leader though. All right. I don't know if you can fire the machine gun. That's 2 command initiatives to fire. That's 2 separate
Oh.
dudes. I think an interrupt would be like. Yeah, I don't know. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, no, I think
I don't know how that works.
because it seems like an interrupt would just be a single command.
Yeah, like
That would make sense.
a squad or
Okay.
a team. So I'll fire my Panzer Shrek. Or,
You went 2d6, so they can't fire.
it's a command.
Oh.
It's not a action.
Wow. So, nice.
And no shock. But I did move. So I -1 for moving. I'm sure that's the second range man. So that's 7.
Okay. I'm going to interrupt again.
Can't interrupt twice.
I'm interrupting a separate.
No, 1 interrupt per phase.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, I missed anyway. So I missed with the Panzer Shrek.
Actually, doesn't that blow up in the tube or something?
Yeah, I think it just shoots backwards. Well, I'm going to try it again with the Panzer Shrek. Actually, that hits.
I was going to say, that's
Barely,
good, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I need a 5. Second range band's a 6. So let's see what we need here. Panzer Shrek has 13 strike dice against your 8.
Ooh. Nice roll. And I got
I got 4.
2.
Okay. So it's 2 net hits. So that doesn't destroy it. There's a chart, 2 net hits. So you roll a d6 and we'll see what happens. 4. So 2 net hits on a 4 is 2 shock and immobilized. So he won't be running off the table, but he can still shoot. That's the problem. And he already did a number on me over here. So, but he does have 2 shock. 1 more shock, he's out of here. If he takes 3 shock, the crew bails. So you don't have to necessarily destroy a tank or a vehicle outright. You can make the crew bail out. And for a junior leader tank like that, it's 3 shock and they'll be out of there. So that's it for my phase. So it is now your phase.
All right. And I'm still at 6. And that's a lot of stuff, maneuver.
Alright, so he is going to fire his main gun, or his tank, at these guys. I'm kind of in a conundrum here, because these guys are here, but I don't want to lose them, so I'm going to have to use those chain of command dice and interrupt and fire the Panzer Shrek again.
But you were saving that to interrupt with the machine gun to shoot these guys as they ran across, right?
That's right.
Yep.
So I have to choose one.
But you can't afford to have them blown away because that'll pretty close to wipe you off the...
I would lose, another leader.
A leader in a section, because that's a full section there, right?
Yeah, it'd be section destroyed.
Not just a team, but a section destroyed and a junior leader.
Of course, you could totally whiff
It's possible.
on your rolls too.
It's possible.
But I have more faith in you not rolling enough to make it off than I do you not wiping the squad out. So here we go. Panzer Shrek. It's a hit. So we gather the dice up again. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 dice against your 8.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to make it out of this one. Andre.
I'm like, I got a nice roll. I got 4.
Yeah, well, that one went right through.
No, it didn't. It went down and lodged in the ammo
how many did you get?
compartment.
I was
4.
I think I was watching the Beast of War. They have a new Beast of War video out. Was it on there? Or they were saying something that automatically explodes if you get 4 or more hits. If you get 4 or more, I think it automatically blows up.
No idea, but
I read that or I saw it somewhere. But if that's the case, well, let me roll and see what happens here. Well, it didn't blow up on the roll. But it makes sense that if you get that good of a pen, where did I hear that? It automatically explodes if you get 4 or more net hits.
Well,
which I did.
that's believable.
So he explodes. So this is bad for you because you lose an armor. So roll bad thing for him. So armor support, AFB knocked out. What'd you roll?
A 3.
So it's -2. And then junior leader killed for the tank commander, died in the explosion. That's the only way tank commander can be killed, is if you in the tank that explodes. So roll another thing to see what happens to him, or what your bad thing is. And if I'm wrong on this, then I apologize, but I could have swear I read that somewhere.
So a 2.
Junior leader kill on a 2 is a -1.
Okay.
So this is destroyed, and then there's something that happens. I think you get D6 hits on guys within like 4 inches of it. So let's see what you get. 2 hits. So nothing. Would have been nice to put some shock on them or something, but so tank destroyed, and yeah, and you still got the rest of your phase to go. So there he is, blowing up. He's riding it all the way up, and good thing though, you did lose your 2 shock.
I did.
And Andre is now down to 3 force morale after all that.
Woohoo!
Which means he's going to be down. Actually, got to remove a jump off point. Oh no, if you're at 2. So you still get, I think you're just -2 on your command rolls for next time.
Okay, so I'm gonna run this team.
All right, this is it. If he can make it all the way out, he wins the game. Oh no, I think he made it. That was what I was hoping wouldn't happen.
Is it just one dude or the whole section?
I do not know that.
I'm
I think
thinking
just
it
a
would-
guy.
I was gonna say I'm thinking you have to get the section, but either way, it's probably not a problem because what's gonna happen is I've still got a
Yeah, you can
command
just
die.
interrupt and run off.
So as soon as you try and shoot them, I just interrupt and
All right,
it's done.
that's it. That's game. He did make it off the table.
Whew.
Yeah, it was kind of a.
It got a little dicey down here, but then that's usually how these games wind up. Is once it starts happening, it just goes.
Yeah. It.
I'm amazed nothing ever. We just kind of cat and moused over there and never fired a shot.
Yeah, I was trying to head back this way, but I should have just. You know what? I think I can pinpoint what really screwed me here. Or it didn't screw me, but getting those 4 3s. Because if I'm still thinking about that, because if I would have got a 4, I could have had this guy in Overwatch.
Yeah, no, no, that was
Just
that
some
was huge.
random roll of 4 3s, like that's totally stopped me in my tracks. It's like, okay, so I can move 2 squads and that's it.
Yeah,
I
not
couldn't make these guys go on Overwatch. I was gonna make this guy. I was gonna put both of them on Overwatch.
yeah.
And it's like, okay, come around the corner. But I couldn't. So,
And that would have been a whole different game.
yeah, it really all comes down to those command dice, man. If you get a bad roll at the wrong time, and the weird thing is that even a roll that would be good, like a bunch of 5s, can be bad because you can't do anything.
And these guys back here with 5 shock taken completely out of the whole game, but wound up being a non-factor.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they were one. Yeah, and if I would have had one more pin on those guys, they would have changed the game as well. Because
And-
they would have been pinned there, and then these guys could have done something else.
They didn't do a whole lot, but they did manage to
pinned
put
me down.
just enough on these guys that the tank was able to.
Well, the tank did it, yeah.
Well, the tank did it, but I mean, the 2 or 3 shock that they put on made it enough that it was critical.
Yeah. Yep, I should have got those guys out of their turn early, but I wanted to fire that Panzerfaust.
I understand.
Because if I could have got that tank with that, it would have been nothing you could have done. There's no way you could have punched through with just the infantry.
No.
But yeah, the Panzerfaust I hit, but you just bounced it, and that.
I got some lucky rolls, that's
Yeah.
for sure.
Definitely some lucky rolls.
But then it's hard to win this game without some lucky rolls.
You got to have some, that's for sure. But I thought I had a pretty good defense ready to go. It's just the way that the dice rolled, man. It was just didn't work out for me this time. It's even blowing up the tank wasn't going to do it. And then not having these guys on Overwatch. But even then, you could have still probably ran through.
Well,
I would have maybe got a couple of them on the way by.
and it really came down to me having the 2 chain of command dice and being able to do 2 interrupts
Yeah.
towards the end here.
Yep.
You know, that wound up being a big factor. And that's
That it did.
why I wasn't using those dice earlier. You know, they're great to have and they can really help you out a lot of the time, but you want to make sure that you get your bang for the buck when you do use them. You want to be wiping a squad out or winning the game or doing something big.
Blowing up a tank.
You know, that I was afraid that was going to happen, but you know, it was a move I had to make, and if you didn't, the chance of you losing the game just by losing that section was pretty decent.
Yeah, and I had you down to 3 on your force morale too.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? No, I'm sorry. You ran. I was thinking. Never mind. You
No,
still
I-
had dice in that same phase. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, you could have rolled 3 dice and not got one, but no, never mind. He was
Yeah.
all in the same phase. It just
No, if we went to the next, yeah, if it went another phase, I was going to be in
No.
deep hurt.
because you still, even if you didn't make it, like you said, you could have just
Oh,
interrupted.
then it was. But I mean, if it weren't for having the chain of command dice,
Oh yeah. And never leave a chain of command dice on the table. I don't know how many times we've done that. Had the chain of command dice and didn't use it. More than
well,
too often.
it's really embarrassing when you could have won the game with it and you forget you have it.
Yeah,
We've been doing that less.
yeah, we've been using them a lot more efficiently lately. So, anyway, that's the Learning Game 2.0. I hope it was better than Learning Game 1. I think just by the fact that we have a better camera and better mic this time, it is. But we got some vehicle action, we got some assaults, we got chain of command dice usage.
Hopefully, we didn't make too many errors.
I don't think we made too many. The machine gewehr thing, I'm still not 100% clear on that. To me, it makes no sense to get 2 extra shots out of a machine gun and ignore 6 rifles. So yeah, getting 2 extra shots, yeah, but you could have had 6. Yeah, anyway. So anyway, that's it. Next one we do, we might be starting the Operation Citadel next time, or we might revisit the Pacific again just one more time for the hell of it.
We'll see.
All right, so thanks for watching. See you next time.